Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, August 30th. September is almost here, which means fall is almost here, which means Thanksgiving is almost here, which means Christmas is almost here. So even though it's August 30th, Christmas is basically here. Do we love that logic? We love that logic. This is a podcast where we get really excited about things like holidays, but it's also a podcast about knitting, books, and baking and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias if you'd like to follow me and see what I get up to during the week. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes to this episode and previous episodes, so if I remember to link everything that I talk about, it will be in the show notes. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on YouTube, or if you're on my blog, everything is already there. In addition to that, I work at a yarn store. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas. I will link all the social media, Facebook, website stuff, places, so you can check us out and come see us in person, or go check out our social media and all that kind of fun stuff. We would love to see you if you are visiting or local? What? Yes. So yes, all of that is wonderful, and we are just moving forward in everything, you know? We are just moving forward. We have a lot to talk about, and there's someone with a very loud car driving by, which is not part of this podcast, but let's just go ahead and get into things, because I feel like we do have a lot to talk about, and right now I'm just blanking on everything, but I know there is quite a bit. So if you like to grab something tasty to drink, I made this coffee with the intent of recording with this coffee, and granted, I wasn't going to record right away when I made it, but it's almost gone at this point. I apparently was very excited for my latte that I made, and it was a very mighty fine latte, if I do say so myself. So maybe you have a latte, maybe you're smart and you're hydrating yourself with water, because I haven't done that today as much as I should have. I will do that later. You can grab something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold. Maybe you're on your lunch break, maybe you are just relaxing and enjoying some downtime. Whatever brings you joy, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, first off, I would like to say, as a disclaimer or just a BTW, I get canker sores or mouth ulcers very badly. And I currently have one in a very unfortunate spot, so if I sound weird or if I sound like I'm talking not like I normally do, that is why. I'm trying to avoid scraping things. It's not very pleasant, but you know, you do what you gotta do, and it cannot be helped, and it is what it is. So we are powering through. Thank goodness for ibuprofen. Also, all of my thoughts and my prayers, all of our thoughts and our prayers are going out to Louisiana right now with the destruction that happened because of Hurricane Ida. It's just terrifying and horrifying to watch all of that happen on Sunday. And I just hope that if you are from Louisiana, or if you have friends or family in Louisiana, I hope that everyone is safe. And hopefully there was not too much damage to your stuff. But it is very sad, and it's just devastating to see those pictures that are popping up online of what happened. It's just scary. Weather is no joke. Hurricanes are no joke. So knitting wise, everyone. I don't have a new test knit, but I do have a new cast on because I treated myself. It was a fun time. And it was a fun thing because we had the Rancho Inca alpacas at Pearly Girls this past Saturday, which is super fun. They brought 2 of their super cute alpacas, and we got to hang out with the alpacas. I mean, like, that's awesome. They are located in Navasota, and they have a big alpaca ranch, which just sounds amazing, and they have a bunch of alpaca fiber. I do believe they send it to a mill to be spun, and it's just gorgeous. So I got a skein of that. I also got a skein of that for my mom, and when I got home, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cast this on. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. So I did, and things were very happy, and I made a lot of progress. So, and now that I've talked about it, I don't know if that's what I want to talk about first, but since I have already talked about it, we just might as well. So when stuff like this happens, this is just so beautiful. It is the most squishiest and the most luxurious. This is the natural color, which is wonderful. I do have the tag that came with it, and so this is the tag that came on the skein of yarn. It is from an alpaca named Twilight Rose. We do love that. That is absolutely wonderful. It is 80% alpaca, 20% merino. It is about a sport weight. I'd say it's a light sport weight, and there's about 333 yards. And here is their logo, and there is their website. And of course, all this will be linked in the show notes. So yes, Twilight Rose was in fact the alpaca that this fiber came from. And I'm just so excited for this. What was I saying before? With this kind of thing, I don't need a ton of this. Though I would love it, I know that it would be more special for me personally. This is just my experience. So your experience may be different, and more power to you. But in my experience with this kind of stuff from like the local ranches and stuff that have these beautiful animals with the fiber and the yarn and all that kind of stuff, it is more special to me to get either 1 or 2 skeins and just make something small, and I could just really love on that thing. So in fact, one of my absolute favorite shawls I made several years ago, I got yarn from Independence. Ooh, I actually don't know. Are they still in business? We will look. We will consult the Instagram. Yes, I do believe it is Independence Fiber Mill. They are located in Independence, Texas, which makes sense. But I got 2 skeins of their yarn. I do not remember what the blend was, but it had been milled with like a bunch of really fun colors. It was this most beautiful, soft brown, light brown, and I made Authenticity by Sylvia McFadden, I believe. I could be wrong. But it is like the softest, most snuggly things, and it's one of those projects that I feel very strongly about, and I know of this thing I'm about to say, I know Christy Glass has also done several videos about her projects, but you have those comfort projects that you have made and you just feel so I don't even know, like you just feel really comforted when you wear them, so you're more likely to wear those things when you go and do things that are like not fun, like doctor's appointments or dentist appointments, which I have to schedule my dentist. Regular cleaning soon, I'm not excited about it. So we have these knitted items that we have made that we consider the ultimate comfort. I remember when I was taking the SAT and the ACT, or I don't even remember, I don't know if that makes sense time-wise, and also in college, like I had like 1 or 2 cowls that were just the softest things, and they were my comfort things, and so I would always wear them when I would go and take tests, and it was very comforting to me, and it was like, I can smell this wool, I can smell whatever blend this is, this fiber blend, while I'm taking this French test. I am not confident in it, but we are doing our best, and I have this cowl on, and I know it will be okay. So this shawl that I knit from the Independence Fiber Mill company, that is one of those things for me, and I just love it. So when I saw this opportunity to get yarn from the Rancho Inca alpaca, I just can't go wrong. So I went with one skein, and I am making a very simple asymmetrical garter stitch with an eyelet. I am using a pattern, and I meant to look up how this is said beforehand, and I completely forgot. And we are going to look it up now. So one moment, we have figured it out thanks to the internet. I knew it was, or I didn't know. I thought this was how it was said, but I just wanted to make sure. This is called asterism, which is, if you don't know what that means, according to the internet, it is a prominent pattern or group of stars typically having a popular name but smaller than a constellation. It also can mean a group of 3 asterisks, drawing attention to a following text. Oh. Well, anyway. You learn something new every day. So this is a shawl called Asterism by Janina Callio, and I have knit many of her patterns, and she is Woolenberry on Instagram. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Her shawl patterns are just they're good for like those 1 skein, 1-2 skein things. Sometimes you can, she's got options with 2 colors. She's got a lot of single color ones. So it's just really easy to have these shawls in mind for whenever you just want to make something quick. Super straightforward. I know this is an older pattern. I'm having to go way too far back. We are just gonna pass on that. It is super simple. So it is this, like I said, this asymmetrical shawl pattern. We are just increasing and increasing and increasing, having these like eyelet rows every so often, and then it will end with a eyelet border. And depending on the yardage and how much yardage I have, I will maybe do a picot bind off. I don't know. We will see. Because another thing that I do with these kinds of skeins in this type of situation, where I just have a really special thing that I want to highlight, and I want to make something that is very simple, and it just is one of those comfort projects for me, and a comfort item, is that I will use patterns to be more of like a guideline. So though I am following this pattern for sure, I am not using the recommended needle size because I want to make sure I use my yardage to the fullest, and I want to get a good size. So I'm actually using an 8 instead of a 6. I'm using an 8, and depending on how much yardage I have and how many repeats I get in, I may or may not do the full border. I may do a picot bind off. I don't know. I would love to add tassels. I really want to add tassels. I also thought about holding a mohair with this, and I did try it for a good amount of the beginning of this shawl. And though I liked it, it was not creating the fabric that I wanted, and I also knew that that would probably really cover up the fact that I was using this wonderful alpaca yarn from Twilight Rose at Rancho Inca Alpacas. And I'm glad that I decided not to do that, but I may actually throw some mohair into the tassels if I do that. It may come down to deciding whether I do the picot or the tassels. I don't know. Again, we'll just have to see. But anyway, I started this last afternoon. Yes, last afternoon. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Yesterday afternoon. That last afternoon, you know. It could be any afternoon. It's just the last one. I started this yesterday afternoon. And I am more than halfway. I don't know how that happened. I am not complaining. I know that using a size 8 has a lot of whatever to do with it, and it is very wonderful. I am so happy with how this is turning out. So you start down here, and then you go and you go and you go, and you have your garter stitches in between, then you've got your eyelets in between, and it's just so beautiful and it's so squishy, and this is creating exactly what I wanted. I know that this is like a very open gauge, and that's okay. It's what I wanted. It's a guideline. I'm just kind of winging it, and I don't really care because I want this to be a comfort item when I'm done, and I know it will be because it is so nice, and I know it just feels so woolly and alpaca-y, and when I block it I know it's gonna even be better, and it's gonna smell so good. Oh, because it already smells good. Oh my goodness, wow, that smells so good. If you've never seen the podcast before, I do apologize. I do smell yarn on the podcast quite a bit. I do other things too, but I do smell yarn because, oh, it smells so good. I don't know how really to describe the smell of yarn. And that is a whole discussion that we are probably not going to get into because I could just ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. But it's like smelling old books. Like, it's one of those smells that you can't quite describe, but it just brings your heart joy. And it just makes you feel really good and happy, and it's just, I love it. I love it. So I'm very, very happy. I am doing very well. One thing I've done this in the past with several of her patterns before, especially this shape and also crescent shapes, is that her increase that she has written is usually a knit front and back. And though that works, obviously, because all you need is an increase and you can do it however you want, the knit front and back is not particularly stretchy, and because this is definitely a line that I need and want to be stretchy, I have changed it to be a yarn over. So because of that, I'm not like knitting into the front stitch and all that kind of stuff. I've also remembered another thing I have changed, because again, it's a guideline. You know, you can make changes if you want. It's really not changing any of the structural integrity of the shawl. I am just using her pattern and making some adjustments to be exactly how I want it, and that is what we were doing. So I have also decided to slip the stitches on the sides to create a neater edge, because I was doing this not for very long at the very beginning, so it's kind of hard to tell. But as you can see here at the very beginning, you can see it's kind of bumpy on the edge, especially along, oh, it's hard to do. Whoop. Oh goodness, how do I show this to you? Like kind of along there, it's bumpy. And so what I am doing is, instead of knitting the last stitch, I am slipping it with yarn in front. And so that has created this very nice slip stitch edge, and I really like how that looks. I'm doing it on both sides. I just like that. There's nothing wrong with a garter bump, not at all. But with this, it's just what I wanted. So I'm doing it. I put in a progress keeper because it made me happy. I wasn't really marking any progress at all, but at the time, and now we're going to move it because now I've showed it to you. But it is my caramel latte stitch marker from Little Bitty Delights. I do love it very dearly. It's one of my favorites. Love it! And can we remember what is the right side and what is the wrong side? I'm pretty sure this is the right side. It's very easy, very straightforward. It is like the perfect travel project, I feel like. I mean, there are so many amazing travel projects out there for sure, but you've got garter stitch, you've got eyelets, you've got increases in one decrease every so often to kind of keep you interested, and it's a great pattern. It is a great souvenir yarn project, and like I said, Janina Callio has a lot of really good projects that are good for those things. I think I said too many words or was redundant there, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I am so happy with this. I am super excited to be able to wear this. It is like very simple, but that is exactly what I want, and it's just, I love a good comfort project and comfort item. They're just so good, and it's special, and it's just a really fun thing. So I'm super excited to be working on that. Moving forward with other projects that I have recently cast on very spontaneously, I do have my boho blush. Haha! Which is here, and I have made quite a bit of progress, but not as much as I would have liked. But I did cast on other things, or that one new thing, and I've been working on other things as well. So, it's like stop singing and just talk about the project. This is Boho Blush. It is a crescent shawl by Andrea Mowry. I am using, the main color is Confetti Cake by Heathered Handmaids, which is just absolutely beautiful. It is this creamy color with beautiful speckles. And then I have chosen to throw mohair in wherever my heart so desires, because I have it in my stash and I want to add it because why not? If you have it and you can and you want to, then do not hold back. Add mohair wherever you can. So I am going to be adding the mohair into the non-garter stitch sections. So I believe there's this brioche. I know there's a lace one. It may just alternate between the two. I will definitely run out of this blue. It will not be able to be for all of the lace sections. So I actually have this other mohair, which is also by Heathered Handmaids. This is Toasted Marshmallows. I used this with my test knit for her. Textures of Comfort, which I knit back in January, which seems like forever ago at this point, because it's almost September, which means it's almost Christmas. And then I'll also be using this white because I just have options and it's nice to throw in some options. I have other options, but I just like this color palette with this one. If I want to throw other colors in, I can. But I don't have any rhyme or reason with my mohair. Again, I'm kind of using it as a template a little bit. But yes, it is a crescent shape. Right now I'm just knitting garter stitch for a while. These rows are going to get incredibly long, but that's okay. I am loving it. We love a good garter stitch moment. It is great. Same thing with the asterism shawl. I don't know why I'm wanting to throw a year in there. It's asterism. Garter stitch. We love good garter stitch because, again, good reading, good mindless knitting, good pick up, set down knitting. It's just all good. We love it. And I love working with Heather's yarn. It's just so beautiful. It just makes me very happy. So, loving this. This is my boho blush. I did not put a progress keeper in, but that's okay. You will remember to do that. I think I had like intended to do that, but I completely forgot about it. Actually, I think I had meant to do that on Saturday, and the alpacas were just very distracting. And we were very busy, so it was a very happy busy, and I forgot to put a progress keeper in, but that's okay. Also, I love this bag. I haven't used this bag in a while, and I pulled it out of my stash, and I was like, oh, I love this. This is basically a Paris-inspired, French-inspired bag by stitched by Jessalou, which I have so many of her bags, and they are the best. But, I mean, we have all the fun things. We have the Arc de Triomphe. We have the Eiffel Tower. We've got some seals that are in love. I mean, why not? I think that's a baguette. Yep, that's a baguette. We've got someone riding a bike. We've got two seals in love. Then we've got a little wiener dog down here. And then we've got some macarons. And then someone riding a bike. Another person riding a bike. I just love it. It just brings me joy. It makes me very happy. Which, I mean, I don't know, we just love all the happy things. So, moving right along, I did make progress on this, and I wanted to show it to you. Actually, you know what? I've made more progress than I am thinking I did. And you know what? I think I may just need this one ball of yarn and then I'll be done. How wonderful. This is my woolen honey sweater, everybody. Oh my goodness, and what is this? It is a finished sleeve. The sleeve is done. The first sleeve is done. And the second sleeve is more than halfway done. All I have left is the ribbing on this sleeve. But if you would remember, this is long ribbing. It's not a short ribbing, but that's okay. We do have a long ribbing. But that's okay. It's worth it. It is worth it. It is so cute. Another Andrea Mowry pattern, because we do love her patterns. This is Woolen Honey. It is a top-down yoked sweater. We've got these cute honeycombs, hexagons, whatever you want to call them. I'm using Knit Picks palette in the Pumice Heather colorway. And like I said, I am almost done. I just have my cuff to do. That is quite long, but I do have my cuff to do, and then I will be done, and I am so excited. Everyone. See, I just need to time it with the next time I go and visit my parents so I can take beautiful pictures in the mountains with this sweater, because that is my favorite thing to do. Also because why not? It is the mountains. We cannot go wrong. So I'm so close to being done with this. I hopefully would love to have this done by next week, but we will see. I may be distracted by other things, other projects. You know, it does happen to one who is very excited about all the projects that you have. You may cast something new on very randomly, but that's okay because it brings you joy. And by you, I mean me. I know I'm not the only one, so I was just saying you could be anyone, but I'm really talking about myself. I don't know what this bag is. I've had this bag for forever. So, like a long, long time. And it's a good bag. It is a good bag. I love it. And it holds quite a bit. So, that is my Woolen Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. We're moving right along. Next up, let's talk about this test knit. This is my Jensen cardigan by Rachel of September Knits. So I have a fuzz on my nose because that is a hazard when you knit with mohair. This is my massive pink ball of yarn that we love so much. And I'm holding that double with Hobby Diablo, which is their mohair, and it's color number 42, and I believe it's something rose. This is called Powder Blush, in case you're curious. This is We Heart Yarn Mega Ball from Hobby, Hobbii. And this is a new to me yarn. I've knit with the Diablo before, but I wanted to try this out because we love affordable yarns, and the quality is just incredible. And we can't go wrong with the price. So, holding these two together, this is my test knit so far. And I'm actually almost done with my first ball of mohair, which is just really exciting. So, we are just plugging along. I made quite a bit of progress because, everyone, look at where my progress keeper was. I made good progress. I am almost to dividing for the sleeves. I didn't quite make it, but that's okay. I'm getting there. I am very close to being done. Let me see. Okay, so that was right there. 1, 4. Ooh, excuse me. That yarn came out of nowhere. I have 4 more increase rounds, and then I will be able to divide for the sleeves. I'm so excited. I love how this is knitting up. I think this is super fun, and I am just really enjoying this slow process of working on this. And this is just one of my favorite things about testing for Rachel, is that her whole testing process is quite extensive. She really puts a lot of thought and effort into her testing process, and so you have a long yarn, you have a long time to start, you have a long time to actually knit it, and then you can and it's also very flexible, so if things come up and you're not able to finish or meet the deadlines, then you can work with her, and she's very understanding. She also offers, usually she offers codes for like a discount with the dyers that she works with. She likes to work with Sugar Plum Circus, and their yarns are just so nice. I have some of their yarn in my powder and dust shawl, and it is just so good. So good. But I wanted to try this new yarn, so that's why I went with it, and yeah. I know it doesn't look like much, but it will be a cardigan eventually. It's just, right now I haven't divided for the sleeves, so it doesn't look like anything. There will be pockets. There may be a shawl collar, but there will definitely be pockets. It will be longer. It will not be cropped. Maybe hip length. I think that's what the options. Another really great thing about this pattern, it'd be great for beginners, I would definitely say that, but there are so many, one, there's lots of sizes, and 2, there are lots of options to customize it in such a way that makes it uniquely your own. So you have your different lengths, you have your different sleeve lengths, you have different collar options, you have pockets, no pockets, what do you do, I don't know, and then all the various combinations of all of those things. The options are like endless. I know there are ways to figure out how many combinations there are. I remember learning that in college, and I don't remember how to do it, but I do remember learning it because my teacher really loved using pinball machines as examples, and I really kind of hated it. It was not a fun time, but you know what? I passed with an A, so we are not complaining. Me and an A in a math class is just a huge, wonderful blessing. We will not take that for granted. So even though I didn't like the pinball machine references all the time, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I don't remember how to find out the combinations, but that's okay. That's not the point. This is not a math podcast. I could not do that. That does not sound like fun to me. If that sounds like fun to you, more power to you. That is not me. So yes, the pattern is very well written and has lots of fun possibilities. Here is actually the ball band for the pink yarn. They're both pink, the big ball of yarn. Boop. Mega Ball, We Heart Yarn. This is color 417, or Powder Blush. And I think that's all that is important on that. It is 100% acrylic, if you are curious. I love it. It is amazing. Do not take acrylic for granted, and do not just pass it by because it's acrylic. It is very, very wonderful. So yeah, I'm loving working on this. We will continue to make progress, and in fact, let me move my progress keeper right now while I'm thinking about it as I put this big ball of yarn back in this bag. The only downside, though, of working with these big balls of yarn is that it is very hard to travel with. I take knitting with me literally wherever I go, and even if you don't see me knitting, I probably have it in my bag. Obviously, when I'm at work, when I'm working at the yarn shop, I do have knitting with me, and it's easy to bring this. But if I'm like at church, or if like we're running errands and I'm in the car, or if we're going out to eat, I have something in my eye, it is much, 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 much harder to carry around this massive ball of yarn because it is just so big. There's no really easy way that's convenient to contain the movement of the ball of yarn when you're removing the yarn. Did any of that make sense? I don't know. The reasons why I like center pull balls, depending on the type of yarn, of course, I prefer center pull balls, which may be controversial. I don't know. It's personal preference if you like center pull or outer pull. Whatever works for you. I like center pull because you can literally just set the ball of yarn anywhere and just pull from it and it won't move. Like that, to me, is super convenient, and I love that. So when we have this big thing and I'm pulling from the outside, and I know I could pull from the inside, but these kinds of things have yarn barf all over the place. We don't want that. Pulling from the outside of this is not, when you have a confined space, it is very difficult. So it's not like I could just keep it in the bag and pull from the outside. It would just be very tricky to do. It would make the experience of knitting it not fun, and we don't want that. Ooh, I have stitch markers attached to this. Okay, we are moving my progress keeper, which is a cinnamon roll, also again from Little Bitty Delights, because we love her stuff. Oop, it's backwards. There we go. Please focus on the cinnamon roll. There we go. Love it. So good. I'm just very excited to be able to wear this soon, and once I divide for the sleeves, obviously my rows will become much smaller and shorter, and again, because of how Rachel's tests are run, there's a very wide amount of time, long amount of time. Yes. Time can be wide and long, apparently. I'm sure there's people and poems and things like that. Shakespeare probably describes time as wide and long, but I don't normally do that. I just misspoke. But you knew what I meant, so that's all that really matters. So I've got one more project left that I have been currently working on, and then I have another project that I'm going to pull out of a little bit of languishingness. It's been set on the back burner, but it is a 2021 cast on, so it's not quite a languishing web yet. I don't think. I think I got it in March or April. We'll worry about that when we get to it. Anyway, so this is my diamond jumper by Anne Vensel, and I am so excited about this. So I'm using Cascade Eco Wool in the taupe colorway. I love it dearly. This is my second sweater out of this color. It is such a good color. I love it so much. And everyone, I am so excited. It will probably look basically the same because I haven't divided for the sleeves yet, but like, can we even? Everyone, look at this texture. Like, what? What? It is just so squishy and I love it. Again, it smells so good. It smells so good. It is so woolly. It is so squishy. The stitch definition is just so good. The yardage is good. The colors are good. The price is good for the quality and quantity of yards. It's a good deal. It is such a good deal. I have knit many sweaters out of Cascade Eco Wool, and this will not be my last one. For sure not, because I just love it so much. So much. So I have 2 progress keepers on the back, or on this side. I honestly don't know if this is the front or the back. I think that might be the front, actually. Yeah, that's the front. I see the short rows back here. So on the front, this one is marking my progress, and this is from Hand Stitch Life, which says True Love on this piece of pizza, which is accurate. I do love pizza. If I could eat it for every meal, I would. And then this other one is helping me keep track of my increases. I know I could write on my pattern, but I am more likely to be able to keep track of this than writing it on my pattern. So we have gone with this. I am just loving this. The pattern is so much fun. It's so easy. And it's just, like, I'm still having to look at the pattern as I do the charts and stuff, but, it's just one chart. It's one chart for everything after you get past your short rows. But, like, it is so much fun. And we have cables without a cable needle, or, like, that's how I'm doing them, and it's just so quick. And it's on a big needle, and I love it, and I cannot wait to wear it, and I just want to divide for the sleeves so I can try it on because I'm so excited. It is the biggest, squishiest, all over cable pullover, and I am loving it so much. This cable pattern is on everything except for obviously these sections, which are on your raglan increases. So down here, down there, and then down the back as well. So, and the turtleneck, we love it. I know it looks small, but it will block out. And I also didn't want it to be too big. So, that is why. My friends, that is why. And I'm just loving this so much. This is definitely like another comfort project. And in fact, one of my comfort sweaters that I have is also made out of Cascade Eco Wool. Surprise, surprise. My rug sweater. I love that thing so much. Like, I just feel so good when I wear that sweater. And you wouldn't be able to tell it if I was wearing it or through pictures, but the sleeves are very much not the same. But it doesn't matter because no one can tell when I'm wearing it. If you were to lay it flat, you probably could tell, but sleeves are very different. But the point is that, again, it's just those comfort knits, the comfort knits that really just help us get through hard things, be comforted at home maybe, just make you feel really good. I just feel like so, I don't know, just so confident when I wear my rug sweater and I have like skinny jeans on, like a cute pair of boots or something, and it has to be fall, of course, it has to be cold outside. And I've got a fun pair of earrings on. It's like one of my favorite outfits. I love it so much, and I am hoping and expecting this diamond jumper to become one of those as well. So I'm so excited. But again, it has to be cold. We are getting there. We are getting there, everyone. We are so close. The light at the end of the tunnel is upon us soon. Granted, I know it can be very hot in October, so I'm not hoping too much for cool weather this month, this coming month, but I mean, who knows what the weather will do. I don't even know. Also, this sweater is coming out soon. I just remembered. This is my Wild Poppy sweater by Tiffany Lind. It is actually going to be coming out, not when I record this, but I'm recording this on Monday, but when you see this, maybe potentially, if you watch this on Wednesday, it's coming out tomorrow, which is super exciting. It's coming out on the 2nd of September, which I believe is a Thursday, because Thursdays come after Wednesdays. Wow, imagine that. Another top-down yoked colorwork sweater, super easy. If you have never done a colorwork sweater before, I would highly recommend this one. It's just very simple. You just do one by one, and then you have fun. You've got some lace in between. Love it. And then you have it on the bottom, and then on the sleeves. And I am so excited for this to come out. It is just wonderful. And I'm just very excited for everyone to be able to knit their own, because it is a wonderful sweater, and you can make it cropped. You don't have to make it cropped however you want it, because that's what knitting is like, what it is about. You can make it however you want. You can follow a pattern, or if there's something you want to change that will make it even more loved by you, then do it. Just do it. Unless it's changing like the structural integrity, again, of the whatever you are making. If you are making adjustments accordingly so it still remains structurally sound, then do it. Do it. Add those decreases in, change the side, change the edging, add some color work, remove the color work, crop it, I don't know. There are lots of options. Make the neckline longer, add more ribbing, change the ribbing, make it a twisted rib, I don't know. The options are literally endless, because again, combinations, I don't know how to do that math. So the math doesn't matter. That's true. Math does not matter. I like to think that. I know that is not true in any shape or form, but it is what it is. Math is math. So I have, oh yes, and then I was going to bring this up. So this is a project that I have had on my needles since, I believe, March or April. I got this yarn when we were visiting my parents, I believe back in March or April, from Maker and Stitch. And surprise, it's another Andrea Mowry pattern. This is just the Andrea Mowry show this week, apparently. This is Pink Fizz. Not Pink Fuzz, it's Pink Fizz. I remembered. And I actually have a progress keeper on here. So this is a bottom-up tunic type thing. We've got drop shoulders, and then we have this beautiful Japanese stitch patterns on the fronts and the back. It looks the exact same on the back. We've got a high-low hem. We do love that. It is just so cute. And then I am holding these two yarns together. I am holding this, which is the Fiber Company Meadow. I don't remember the colorway name. And then this is Farmer Daughter's Fibers in their mohair. Is that Odang, or is that the what is that? Oh, Mighty Mo. Odang is the Surrey that they have. This is the Mighty Mo in the dumpling colorway, and then the Meadow is Bed Straw. So, love these two put together. It is just wonderful, and I'm just tootling along. I have not worked on this in quite a long time, so I will have to refresh my memory on where I am, how to do the pattern. And that's just how it goes, you know, if you have a lot of stuff on your needles, that's how things work. Sometimes things get put in timeout, or they get put in on the back burner, and then you forget what you're doing. and then you come back and you just have to relearn. But I mean, clearly you've done it before, so it'll be okay. But I am very excited to have this. I know that it will be super nice. What I do like about the Meadow from Fiber Company is that it's like a linen blend. Let's look, since I have the ball band in the bag. Yes, it is 40% wool, 25% llama, 20% silk, and 15% linen. So it is a very, very drapey fiber content. It is also, the yardage on these things is just incredible. One skein is 545 yards. So I just love it. It is just beautiful, and paired together with this mohair creates this beautiful peachy color that I love. But like, can we even with this lace? Like, what? It is just beautiful. So I'm gonna pull this out, hopefully to work on. Watch me next week having not worked on this, and we never hear about it again for a couple more weeks until I pull it out and I'm like, I'm gonna work on it again. But I just want to work on those things again. I don't know. I'm in this very, my knitting mojo is like, finish all the things and cast on all the things and do both at the same time. And it's like, I don't have the time. Wish I did. But I can pull things out of my bag of projects, which is the thing. You have bags within bags, and bags within bags within bags. I think that's a crafting thing. I don't think that's just a knitting or a crocheting thing. It's crafting in general. Bags within bags within bags. So those are all the projects that I've worked on this week and want to work on, and that was quite a lot. I mean, I've worked on 5 different projects with a new cast on. The new cast one was included in the 5, but still, it's like, and I'm more than halfway with that. Like, that just blows my mind. I don't know how that happened, but again, I'm not complaining. So, I mean, if I keep on that trajectory, will I have a finished object next week? I don't know. That'd be really awesome. Will I have any other finished objects next week? Ooh, the wool and honey. We want the wool and honey. That would be really awesome. But if not, that's okay. No pressure to do that. It is fine. It is fine. But yes, that is all the knitting that I have to show you. There was so much to talk about today. Just so much. I also made banana bread earlier today. And I'm very excited to have a piece of it later while I fold laundry. Because treat yourself. I think that is important. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week, another episode. Whenever you watch this, I just appreciate you coming back every time and commenting, even not commenting. Like, I just appreciate that you were here. It is really, truly amazing, and it is wonderful. I have all the various social medias. I have show notes. I have yarn store information. If I forget anything, please feel free to send me a message. Or if you just want to say hello, please feel free to do that as well. I love chatting with people, and that will be wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I have lots of crafty plans ahead of me. I am so excited. I'm just my knitting mojo is just very happy right now. It's not like discontent with what I have, I guess. It's not like boredom. I'm just very happy. I'm very excited about the things I have on my needles. I am just excited to make progress on all the things that I have the things that I have available right now. And though I do love planning and I have plans for things in the future, I am just very excited with what I have right now. And who knows what the coming weeks will bring. But thank you so much for being here, for being you. You are enough. You are a wonderful crafter. Whatever you may do, if you knit or crochet or you quilt or you scrapbook or you, I don't even know what, any craft, just know that regardless of what level it is, whether you think you are very skilled or you're not skilled at all, that is still art. You are still an artist. You are still creative, and that is wonderful, and that is a beautiful thing, and that should be celebrated and enjoyed, because that is what creativity is. And I love that so much. It makes me so happy. I just love being creative. And I hope you love being creative too. And I hope that there is a lot of creativity in next week's episode. I don't know if there'll be this many projects, but who knows? Who knows? Don't forget Wild Poppy comes out on Thursday, on September 2nd. Go get your copy. And yeah, that is all that I have. So with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!